country music brought us together as two people who basically can't live without each other. I mean, of course, we're mother-daughter.
I'd like to try sometime.
Yeah. But sincerely, it's weird sometimes. I look over at her and realize that, yes, she is a 50-50 partner. And as my mother, she is, we've got a career together.
Yeah. There's no question that we wouldn't be in country music today if it weren't for the fact that we're mother-daughter. And absolutely no question to the fact that we were saved, our relationship was saved by the music business. We wouldn't be in this studio right now making Judd music.
And Mama, you've always said.
In this edition of Cover Story with the Judds, we went to Nashville to find out how Naomi and Wynonna Judd became country music's first mother and daughter duet to reach superstardom. It's almost like a page from the Cinderella story. In January of 1983, Ashland, Kentucky-born Naomi Judd, a single mother, was working as a nurse in Nashville. Her 18-year-old daughter, Wynonna, was an unemployed high school graduate. They'd sang all their lives together, but not until 1979, when they returned to Nashville from California, did they decide to try and make it professionally. And to that end, they got a job singing on the Ralph Emery early morning TV show, for which they were paid $50 an appearance. Then in March 1983, an incredible thing happened. The Judds auditioned for a group of RCA executives, and the results are still echoing in the country music world today. Naomi and Wynonna Judd's first single, Had a Dream, hit the charts, in fact, made number 20. Their next single, Mama He's Crazy, went to number 1, and the rest is history, as they say. Now, 3 years later, they've recorded 1 mini LP and 2 full-length albums, and the Judds have earned 3 country music awards and a Grammy.
First gentle rays of the sun light up the day.
It's been probably 3 of the most amazing years that 2 human beings can go through, because the mother-daughter relationship is so complex for starters, but she was an extremely difficult teenager. She was. But the music was a common thread that held us together even when we couldn't talk to each other.
Mama, he's crazy. He's crazy over me.
Our people are the kind of people that are born, they work, and they die. You know, there are no dreams fulfilled, basically because 9 to 5 is reality. Mom and I were the first Judds to ever, as they would say, you know, get out of the mountains. I mean, we were the first people that ever took a chance on something that wasn't secure.
Here they are, the Soap Sisters, Naomi and Wynonna.
She tells me dress and act like a lady. She wants to see me in dresses, a ribbon in my tresses.
The reason we did it was because we would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go down and do it from 5:30 to 7, and then I had an hour to get to school, see?
Okay, we had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to do that show because we lived so far out in the country. Try sometime waking up at 3:30 after you've had an hour's sleep, you know, and work your butt off, and put on makeup and clothes, and we had like 2 dresses, you know. But to drive into the big time studio at WSM took almost an hour. And like, you know, you're trying to wake up and remember the words to a song.
Oh, it's snowing outside. But those years are the best, and I'll tell you, I mean, somewhere those videotapes are locked up somewhere.
Oh, beautiful star, Bethlehem, shine.
Merry Christmas, and welcome to the Judds Christmas Present. I'm Lee Arnold.
I'm Wynonna.
I'm Naomi.
And we hope that this Christmas brings your family all the warmth and joy of the season. What was Christmas like back in Ashland, Kentucky?
We had very simple Christmases because we had each other. That's basically all we had. We didn't depend on store-bought things.
Frankly, we were real lucky if we had enough to eat. And we had this magical lady named Minnie Yancey who had a loom, you know. She had...
Don't.
that's the reason I kept putting this off.
You should have brought it.
The thing that she had Winona make for me. Winona hadn't seen this in years. This was my Christmas present that year.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful.
The whole thing is totally handmade.
I was like 12, I think.
She got the strips of leather. This is my most, like, prized possession in the world.
That's the greatest gift of all.
Yeah.
Because it came with love.
I think a lot of the people, like I say, that are in the arts or in music, come from those hungry, humble beginnings because they want something, they dream. I think people that are born with the proverbial silver spoon don't have the same kind of dreams, maybe, or aspirations that the kids that come from the, you know, the poorer, more humble beginnings have.
Families really bow their heads to pray. Daddies really never go away. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
Everybody calls it magic, and they say that we're the Cinderella story. It's the Lord. It's real easy. You know, he gives all of his talents, and he means for all of us to use them. And we're just thankful that he gave us the opportunity to be doing something together. You know, something we love, which is so creative and so much fun and can speak to people's hearts. Because that's what Judd music is. It's music from our hearts to your hearts. It's real easy. We're not stars. We're not celebrities. We are a couple of normal girls who sing music together. It just so happens we're mother-daughter. We're a little strange.
Crazy over me. And in my life is where he says he always wants to be.
We had not a clue as to how it was done. We didn't know people spend thousands of dollars on demo tapes and have a little 8x10 glossy and have, you know, the outfits ready to go, you know, and the band lined up. We didn't even have an 8x10. We had us. The only reason we did that tape, I remember we came in here and did 3 songs on a cassette because some people out in LA said, we're not flying to Nashville. We don't know who these people are. What's going on here? And so we made a little demo and sent it to them to get them to come to Nashville and listen.
It was just probably the most excited I've ever been about hearing something that raw. Just Winona playing guitar and she and Naomi singing, and the songs were just everywhere from real bluegrassy things. There was about 10 songs on the tape, and songs that Naomi had written, and they were, one of them was even like a bebop 40s song. It was like called Dying to Dance, and it was a real, they did 4 parts. They had 2 cassette players, and they would sing into this cassette, and they'd push play, and they would just put another on record, and they'd sing the other additional parts on it, and it was a stroke of genius.
I've never been so loved. He beats all I've ever seen. Mama, he's crazy.
When we signed with RCA, the president of Nashville's division and his wife took us shopping because we didn't own any clothes except from like Walmart. There's nothing wrong with Walmart, but we grew up in Walmart. But when you're talking album covers, you know, and national TV, they took us out to a Nashville store and bought us each an outfit. It was like Mommy and Daddy, you know, back to school clothes or something. We wore those on stage every night.
We sure did.
I washed mine out of woolite every night in that room. Laid them on the heater to dry. We had one outfit to our names.
A lot of us, their charisma and their charm, and they have, the mother and the daughter team have the same kind of vocals, I guess, and they have such a blend because that they are related. The teaming up of them with Brent Mayer, they're able to bridge this gap between traditional music and contemporary music probably better than anybody that I know. It has such a simplicity to it that just says, wow, this is uncluttered, uncrowded, and like fresh mountain air.
Daddy's really never go away. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
Country music, unlike any other form, forces us to be normal. Those people expect to see you getting off that bus, being the Winona and Naomi Judd that they have come to listen to on the radio. It's not a fantasy. It's not a, you know, it's a situation. It's real life. It's real music about real things, about real people.
And recently, one rainy Saturday afternoon in Chicago, 2,000 of those real people showed up to meet the Judds.
You've been looking for love all around the world. Baby, don't you know that this country girl's still free? Why not me? Will you finally come down to your old hometown, your Kentucky girls?
People that listen to country music tend to be very family-oriented themselves. And for the Judds, all the music that they select, all the music that they're going to record, is something that's very personal to them. And it therefore is reflecting those family values that are theirs, and those values that are theirs tends to be the same values that are their listeners.
They're a very unique musical entity in that they're, first of all, a mother and daughter. They're very, very homey. They have not they've not gone into the realm of superstardom with the idea of limousines and wild parties and things like that. They relate to, I think, better than most artists, they relate to the common man. And that's who's here today.
Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy.
And they've got an interesting sound. It's kind of an acoustical, simple sound. You know, it's not heavy laden with strings and horns and things like that. It's very acoustical. It's very simple, basic music, and I think that's the key to really all great music, is simplicity.
Each song is a different chapter, you know, in the Judd book. It doesn't get any more personal than that. It's like giving a piece of us to people every day.
Lovers really fall in love to stay, stand beside each other, come what may. Promise really something people can't, not just something they would say.
We did it, and it's really, you know, there again, if you set your mind to something, I mean, there again, I couldn't be here and do this if it wasn't for her, because together we could get through it. We could cling to each other and have that bond, and nobody could touch that. You know, no one could steal that from us. No one could take our music away from us, and that was what centered us.
Doesn't burn for one night beneath the dark blue shine. Love is alive.
The challenge now is to make it as refreshing in our hearts and in our minds as it was the day we walked in here for the first time. And that is a task. You know, I don't want to be another, I don't want to end my life looking back and having regrets and saying, man, I didn't handle that right.
Every dictionary, but nowhere to find. Love is a man and he's mine.
Life's got so many problems and so many struggles in it. We really try to stress I mean, we've got them too, but we try to stress the positive, the meaningful stuff in life.
Love is alive and at our breakfast table every day of the week. Love is alive and it grows every day and night, even in our sleep. Love is alive and it's made a happy woman out of me. Oh, love is alive.
There's no clones from one record to another. From Why Not Me, from Mama He's Crazy, to Rockin' with the Rhythm, Grandpa, there's Love is Alive. Those records are really quite different in the way that, well, they're just different type of records, but there's continuity there. So I guess the trick is to keep all that change happening, but keep it within restraints to where everybody has some understanding of what we're doing, you know.
Love is just a moon, distant, faraway dream that needs the night to rise.
I remember our manager saying, "Winona, I have seen two people who were not the best of friends become best friends," and he said that's better than any, you know, #1 record or anything. And he said, "I've seen two people come together, and I'm thankful to be a part of that." And that's something that very few people probably get a chance to do. How many kids leave home with a broken heart and scars and nothing but bad attitudes, you know? Man, that could have been me. I could have left home that way.
It's our pleasure to present the award for Vocal Group of the Year. And the winner is the Judds. Winona and Naomi.
Each and every one of us needs to feel loved, needed, and accepted. And Winona and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for giving us this special feeling tonight. This is a magic moment that we'll remember all the rest of our lives. It's almost as if every award that we get humbles us more and means more to us because we realize, I'm not saying we don't deserve it, because we work real hard at what we do. And we're 100% sincere about it, and we love it and all, but
It's hard to be, when I'm having a bad day and I'm really on the edge of, you know, like sometimes I'll come in the studio and, you know, Brent and Don are sitting there and we're getting ready to cut probably one of the biggest songs in our career, you know, and I'm homesick for being with my grandparents, or I'm having problems, and, you know, it's hard sometimes.
I think the thing that makes the Judds so unique is the fact that they're a family. It's a mother and a daughter. And I think today, with the family seeming to be sinking away and the single parent type thing emerging so much, I think people really respond to something deep inside about a family, a mother and a daughter. It's a real unique, nice thing that I think parents and the children are so far apart these days that to see a mother and a daughter so close, I think touches something deep inside all of us.
Moving together.
we're going to be in this studio with the A-Team cutting the hottest songs.
You know, if we win a Grammy and you're not happy, it ain't worth it. And people probably say, "Oh, that's very funny because winning a Grammy does make you happy." No, there are very few negatives in our world of Judd music. And you hit that stage every night, and there are, you know, 500, 3,000 people that have come to see you. It's a real, you know, fellowship.
We get to travel. I mean, we get to go to Europe. We are with such a cool group of people. We were talking earlier about the team, the wonderful team that we've got together. I mean, if you're going to spend your life, spend it with people like these.
And this team helped the Judds get their second platinum album in 1986. Quite an accomplishment for some girls that nobody heard of 3 years ago.
I want, of course, a lot from Mama. You know, to sit back and watch her buy a house and, you know, not worry about where the rent's going to come from is probably one of the greatest gifts I've ever given back, because the two of us together, I've kind of helped her do that.
I want Winona to be the best that she can be. I've never believed in telling either one of my daughters to be an astronaut or an Indian chief or Tupperware lady, anything.
But you've always told us we could be that.
Oh, yeah.
Love is alive and at our breakfast table every day of the week. Love is alive.
Enough people. And we happen to get glorified for doing that. But think about it, where does it all come from?
I'll tell you one good thing about being a celebrity, though, is I've told her all her life, never let them tell you who you are. And celebritydom, or whatever you call it, begs you to be yourself, and I love that.